Fala galera, beleza? Mais uma vez vamos continuar a saga de Final Fantasy XVI. Só lembrando que todos os vídeos são reupados no canal do YouTube. Bora lá, obrigado e vamos para. Seja bem-vindo aí quem entrou.
Clive, here you go.
Em busca da justiça. Fermentando humores. 2 missões secundárias, cada uma com... Ao total dá 30 de renome. Interessante.
How may I help you today, Clive? Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Eita, o próximo é 550, cara, muita coisa.
All done?
Mas vamos fazer, né? Missão secundária é sempre bom. Ajuda a aumentar o XP, ajuda a alguns desbloqueios, né? Algumas missões secundárias desbloqueiam certas coisas. Como por exemplo a montaria se desbloqueia na missão secundária.
Gone, just like that. And without so much as a bow or leave.
What's the matter?
It's my apprentice. He up and vanished while my back was turned. I'd go and look for him myself, but I've got a bakery to run. A bakery that's now short one pair of hands. Loath though I am to rely on the kindness of strangers, I'm at a loss. Please, will you see if you can find him?
I'll see what I can do. Do you know where he might have gone?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was off somewhere mooning at Drake's Fang. He used to work there, you see. Poor fool left his heart in its hollow.
All right. Then that's where I'll start.
Bora lá. Fermentando humores. Ele está... Caraca, ele tá lá perto da mandíbula, pô.
Where did all the men have rocked it?
É um pouquinho longinho, peraí. Eu vou usar o Fast Travel, mais rápido, mais prático.
Let's go. Fly, Ambrosia.
A gente já matou o assassino que ficava aqui. Ele deu umas... Ele deu 800 pontos de habilidade, né? Porque a gente completou o renome. Isso ajudou pra caramba.
Straight home now. Excuse me.
What do you want?
The baker sent me to find you.
I am a sorry, selfish sod, aren't I? I'm certainly not a baker. Master must have ruled the day he took me in. Time was the sight of the Fang used to calm my nerves. But now look at her.
I take it you missed the Mother Crystal.
I hated her, but she was all I knew. Worked her mines for years. And when she shattered, part of me shattered with her. I had to trade my pickaxe for a rolling pin. But I'm no good at baking. Every loaf I touch collapses. My bread's as hollow as I am. She was the only thing that could fill the hole inside me. Oh, I loved her, damn it. But now she's gone. She's never coming back. What am I supposed to do? I ask her. How does a shell of a man learn to live again?
Try to remember the good times. Do that, and the Mother Crystal will be with you no matter where you are.
Even in the bakery. What a fool I've been. Thank you, my friend, thank you. You've opened my eyes. I have to get back there right away. Farewell!
Wait. Suppose you won't be needing an escort then.
Ok. Fala aí, Dolly, tranquilo?
I take it Drake's fang was your doing, sir.
Valeu, irmão. Obrigado aí pela força.
Ah, there you are. The man
Puder
who lit a
compartilhar
fire
também aí,
under
pra
my
se
wayward
alguma pessoa aí
apprentice.
puder entrar, agradeço
Though
também,
I
mano.
worry you might have stoked the flames a little too high. He damn near ran me down trying to get to my oven.
Master, it's ready. Behold the Drake's Balm. A truly unique creation.
I dare say it is.
Just look at it. A perfect likeness of the Fang herself. Her steepled peaks, her fulsome spurs, her inviting hollow. True, my loaves collapse more often than not, but what's the Fang without her crater? Why, no Fang at all. And look, inside. She's filled to bursting with a bounty of beautiful crystals. Salt crystals!
Opa, mais alguém entrou.
Master,
Seja
I
bem-vindo
have
aí.
found my purpose. I must use my work here to preserve
Obrigado pela
the
presença.
memory of the Fang.
Well, if it tastes half as unique as it looks, I'd certainly say you're onto something. Not only is my apprentice back, but he's finally pulling his weight. With any luck, I might even have a new delicacy on my hands. I don't know how you did it, but you have my thanks.
Missão concluída. Ok, mais uma missão secundária feita. Vamos fazer a última e depois dar continuidade ao modo história. Pra cá.
Good day to you.
The crystals we get from the tailor all but worthless.
Ah, Clive. Your timing is exquisite, as always. I have a concern which you may be able to assist me with.
Go on.
There are whisperings afoot of shadowy figures having been sighted outside the village. Rustlings in the undergrowth, suspicious noises. My people fear that they are being watched. It may be no more than a surfeit of nerves, understandable in the current climate, or it may be the prelude to something altogether more dangerous. Given what I hope you'll forgive me calling your nose for trouble, I wondered if you might investigate.
É claro.
Of course.
Excellent. You might begin by speaking with the good citizens of Lostwing. Listen to their tales, and make what you will of them.
All right. I will.
Missão aceita em busca de justiça. 20 de renome.
Right. Let's see what the people of the village have to say. I'd better find out if this is just nerves, or something we need to take more seriously. Do you have a moment? There's talk of suspicious figures in the woods. Have you seen anything out of the ordinary?
No, but I've heard something. Sound of scraping metal, like someone sharpening a sword.
Where was this?
In Lorbert's Pass. Was out foraging for herbs when I heard it, screeching out from between the trees. Ran back here as quick as my legs would carry me, and I ain't been back since.
I see. I'll look into it. Thank you.
Eita, será que é um mini chefão? Isso é interessante
Seems
se
Lorbert's
fosse.
Pass is our best bet then.
Eita, já achei o objetivo.
What do you say, Torgal? Shall we go and investigate? Good girl.
Opa, eu acho que é uma criatura mesmo, hein? Isso é interessante.
You there.
Fuck! He's seen us.
Não, não são.
Get them before they escape.
Black Shields. Here. What the hell are you doing here?
What is it to you? Not that we give a damn. All that matters to us is that you don't.
Caraca, dá pra usar no ar, não sabia disso não.
This one. This one.
Caraca, eu errei. Não acredito que eu errei isso. Ai, não estourou. Prontinho. Inimigos derrotados.
Why were they here? Were they planning an attack on Lostwing? I need to warn Quentin. Let's go. I can walk from here.
Eu só acho que o Clive ele realmente deveria ter algum tipo de corrida, mano. Porque demora demais pra chegar nos objetivos. Opa, alguém acabou de entrar na live. Bem-vindo, obrigado por estar participando aí.
Clive, how goes the hunt
Dou-lhe
for
uns
our
Judas.
sinister figures?
I found some black shields hiding near Lorbert's Pass. They're gone
Por que
now.
que o Dolly é um Judas?
Black
Cobrou.
Shields. The Empress's former bloodhounds. Though they serve another master now. One who means to root out and destroy both me and those I care for. And it would appear the pack has finally caught the scent of its prey. Damn it all.
Porque
I'd
ele
hoped I
é.
would have more time
Au.
for this.
É da natureza dele,
Time
né?
to prepare. But if we are cornered, we have no choice but to bite back. And bite back we shall.
I'm sorry. You're going to need to explain.
Ele
Who do the
tem
Black
Amazon
Shields
Prime.
serve now? And why would that person want you dead?
Because I want him dead.
Who?
the former Lord Chief Justice of Sanbreque. All that I have built here is for him.
I don't understand. Why him? Why Lostwing?
I suppose it is better that you know the
Eita,
truth.
mais uma pessoa entrou. Obrigado aí
I
por
was a
ter
member of the
entrado aí na live
judiciary
aí.
once.
Obrigado
So
por
sickened
participar.
was I by the injustice of this world, I swore to fight it. And fight it I did, in my own small way. I saw more than a few corrupt officials condemned to the very cells into which they had thrown blameless innocents. Men to whom the law was but a scourge to turn against the powerless. And throughout, it was the Lord Chief Justice who backed me, who was my one true ally in the quest to see justice done.
So what changed?
I discovered that he hunted bearers for sport. I was a fool to think he shared my hatred of venality and vice. His support for me was no more than a facade, a means of ridding himself of his rivals, a mask to hide the rot beneath. I filed suit against him immediately.
Eita.
His response, however, was rather more visceral. He had my entire family slaughtered, and he faced no punishment whatsoever. I lost everything. My loved ones, my livelihood, my position, the faith I had once held that any modicum of justice might be achieved through the courts. So I set about enacting my own. I tracked down every soul who served him, and slit their throats myself. But the man himself proved an altogether more difficult target. With money and power come protection. And so I saw that I would need an army of my own. I came here to Lostwing and began recruiting like-minded individuals.
And everyone here knows this is why you do what you do.
Of course. They too have lost loved ones to the bearer hunts. Seen faultless friends sent to the gallows to spare the guilty. All under the watchful eye of the Lord Chief Justice. Our wounds are the same. And our cause is the same. We are comrades. And our revenge is already in motion. We know where he hides, how numerous and well-trained his guard. What we did not know until now, however, was that his plans may already be in motion too.
Quentin.
Our time is short. He may move against us at any moment, unless we move against him first.
Caraca,
Friends
mano.
and comrades, it begins. Make ready for war.
Mano, as missões secundárias desse jogo é muito foda, velho. Elas têm umas histórias muito boas.
I'm not going to change his mind.
Any friend of the innkeeper is a friend of mine. Keep
tô
fighting
completo.
the good fight.
Agora vamos voltar pra missão principal, mano. Ô, se tem alguém aí que tá assistindo que não deu follow, se puder dar um follow aí pra ajudar,
I'm telling you,
agradeceria.
it's true. I heard it from Otto's own lips.
Think mid might need some help.
If I don't come up with something soon. All right, Clive? What do you want?
I'm going to visit Sid, and I thought you might like to come with me.
Sorry, I'm too busy for all that right now. I've got to get this thermal displacement stack sorted.
Thermal...
Displacement stack. Here.
And this is for...
Only the fastest, finest ship the world has ever seen. The Enterprise.
Me and my dad designed it together. Where other vessels rely on the fickle winds to drive them through the water, ours is fitted with mithril engines. And those things have got more push than a behemoth in a bad mood, and more heat than all the hells put together. Which is where the stack comes in. I may have already talked some tight-lipped shipwrights into putting the hull together for me in a little dockyard in Canva. But the stack's a bit more involved, so I'm building it here. Thing is, it's so involved that I'm running behind and it's starting to hold things up over at the shipyard. I'll come and see my dad, though, when I'm done. Whenever that is.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Good old Clive. I were hoping you'd say that. First things first, I need some parts making.
Claro que você precisa de
The
peças.
stack will be made up of 3 major components. There's the plating, here, that channels hot vapors away from the engine. The helm over the top, that disperses all that heat into the air. And the shielding around the sides. That stops the rest of the ship from going up in flames.
A full suit of armor, then. Probably best to take it one piece at a time.
Then you'll need to start with the plating. Everything else fits onto it. I've got the designs and the list of materials here. Show these to Blackthorn. He'll know what to do.
I can't make head nor tail of them.
Luckily, you don't need to.
Caraca, ainda bem que você não precisa. Bichinho ignorante, hein? Pensei que a gente ia realmente ir lá visitar o túmulo do Cid, mas né, nem a própria filha quer ir visitar ele. É complicado.
Blackthorn, can I ask a favor?
Hell with it.
It's for Mid.
This my last chance to say I'm otherwise engaged. Spare myself the arseache. Go on then. What is it this time?
She said you would know. Here.
Krieger's teats. Well, I don't know what the hell you'd want this for, but I can make it. Won't be easy though. And I'll need help. Get Gavin-Otto in here, will you?
All right.
So Mid's roped us all in here again, hasn't she? Typical. Still, if that's what it takes to get her to visit Sid's grave, I'll do what I can.
And, what is it we need to do, exactly?
Take a look at this. It's this plating. The usual sword-grade steel won't work. We need something that can get very hot, very fast, and still keep its shape. That means an alloy. Something that won't break or buckle at the temperatures she's talking about. Which is where you lot come in. I need materials, and I've got my work cut out already. You'll have to fetch them. Now, there's a special kind of sand I'm after that you can only find out in the Valcroy. Stardust, they call it. As for the rest of the stuff, my usual supply should have it in stock. It just needs buying and bringing back here.
Well, we'll get it done quicker if we split up. One of us should probably give you an hand collecting the sand.
And the other can go and get the rest from this supplier.
Right then.
Well, make your minds up who's going where, we can get this over with.
Ok, soltando vapor. 40 de renome, interessante.
You going after the Stardust then, are you? Which one of these 2 lucky souls is going with you?
Cara, eu quero o Gav. Gav é da hora.
Gav, you're with me.
All right then. So, where do we find this stardust stuff?
There's a river that runs through the southern reaches of the Velcroy. It's the black sand that washes up on its banks that you're after.
Southern reaches of the Velcroy, eh? That's down past Dalamil. I'll go and scout the place out. See about hiring us a wagon to bring the stuff back to.
All right. I'll meet you by the river.
While you're off having a paddle, I'll pick up the rest of the stuff from Blackthorn's supply. Take care.
You too, eh? Don't go letting them fleece ya.
Fleece me? I like to see him try.
Ele que tente.
In your own time.
Que isso, Otto? Calma aí. Ok. Ô, Cacildos. É pra cá, pra cá. Espero realmente que depois esse navio seja potente, mano.
Looks like I found the river. Now, where's Gav?
Meu amigo, se não for potente, eu vou matar a mid.
Sorry to keep you, Gav.
Better late than never. I've had a quick scout about, and I reckon round here's our best bet if we want to grab as much of this stardust stuff as we can. Don't know what Blackthorn's planning to do with it, though. I asked over in Dalamil, and they seem to think it was worthless. But if stardust is what Blackthorn wants, stardust is what he'll get. There's plenty of this stuff lying about, just begging to be bagged.
Then let's get bagging, shall we?
We shall. Race ya.
Ok, né?
Come on. Faster.
Bora lá. Opa.
So this is stardust. It just looks like black sand to me.
2 de 5. Ok.
That should be enough for now. Let's see how Gav's getting on.
You finished? How much did you get?
Enough. I hope.
E essa é só a primeira parte, ainda tem as outras duas ainda.
You win. That might even be enough for old Blackthorn. Hey, before we go, do you mind if we have a chat? Feels like ages since we had the chance to talk. You know, man to man like.
It does, doesn't it?
Back when you first took Sid's name, we were talking all the time. Working out what to do in that.
There was a lot to work out.
And there still is. Those shoulders of yours starting to feel the strain. Hardly ever see you around the hideaway nowadays. Always on some errand or other. You can take a day off, you know.
Says the man who spends most of his time behind enemy lines.
Only 'cause you keep sending me there.
I know I can count on you, Gav.
Likewise. So you keep sending me wherever you need to, and I'll keep going. Safe in the knowledge that I have a home to come back to. Thanks to you. Right. That's enough soppy shite for one day. We'd better get this lot back to Blackthorn before he slings his hammer at someone.
You go on ahead. And try to get some rest once you're there.
Oh, I plan to. Believe you me. After Blackthorn gets what he needs, of course.
Right. Ready to go home, boy?
Ok. Cara, possivelmente acho que essa parte vai ser uma das partes mais chatas do jogo, mano. Vai ter muita enrolação, eu acho.
Let's hope this is all Blackthorn needs. Blackthorn, got everything you need?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Cheers for the stardust. Should be enough to be getting on with.
We should go out on maneuvers together more often. You're beat sneaking around on your tud all the time.
I'll make a start on putting this thermal plating together then. It will take some time, mind. So if you've got other things to be getting on with, I could do without you breathing down my neck.
Thank you, Blackthorn. I'll let Mid know construction's underway.
Missão concluída. Soltando vapor 1. Caraca, 500 pontos de poder. Isso foi muito bom.
Suppose we'd better be getting back to work too.
Give us a shout if you need anything.
Peraí. Nossa, mano, eu ficava dando volta, cara. Não tem uma passagem por aqui. Burrão.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in. If I don't come up with something soon.
You'll be pleased to hear that Blackthorn started work on the plating.
Excellent. 1 down, 2 to go.
So, what's next?
The helm, of course. For this, we'll be repurposing fallen scrap.
Salvage from the ruins? I thought that material was all but impossible to work.
Ah, but we don't have to.
I'm sorry.
Just so happens there's one particular ruin that's broken into exactly the right shape and size pieces for what we need. What's the name back there? I'll give you all the details.
What's her name? Right.
A fulana é foda, velho.
Oh,
Sid, is this about the helm?
Yes. Mid said I should speak with you.
I'll show you the plans then. Here you see the mithril engine, in which mithril is burned to generate heat. That heat is then harnessed to produce motive force. Excess heat is dealt with by means of the thermal displacement stack, which disperses it into the surrounding air. Now, were we to rely on thermal plating alone to achieve this effect, the rate of excess heat buildup would far exceed the displacement coefficient of the plating. In other words, the reactor would overheat and eventually explode. This is where the helm comes in. It connects to the plating, you see, and serves as a sort of thermal sink to absorb all that excess energy.
Awesome.
Our experiments have shown that fallen ceramics are remarkably thermophilic. They can withstand and absorb levels of heat far above anything we are able to make today. And not only that, they're also waterproof and immune to rust, making them the perfect material for our protective hood. Why, if sea or rainwater were to enter the reactor proper, it would vaporize instantly. The forces produced would tear the ship from stern to...
You can stop there. I understand. Mid said we might be able to use parts of a fallen ruin. Where would I find it?
Ah, yes. It's in Lorbert's Pass, near Lostwing. The thing is, well, I probably should have arranged to have the pieces we need brought here sooner. You see, a certain unwanted visitor has taken up residence there. It's no longer a matter of just walking in and taking them. It's, going to be considerably more dangerous than that.
I see. Then I suppose I'd better deal with this unwanted visitor for you. Would that help?
Oh, very much. Thank you, Sid. I'll gather my team and head there right away. We'll meet you outside the ruins.
Ok, missão aceita. Soltando vapor 2.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't need behind.
Eu vou ter que ir andando até lá, mano. Peraí.
If you're ready, we leave at once.
É, se pá, vai ter guerra aqui.
Let's go. Run like the wind. All right.
Sério que eu não vou poder.
Oh, there you are, Sid. Thanks so much for coming. The, ruins are just over there, as is the creature I told you about, I'd imagine. Would you mind?
Of course. I'll be right back.
Ok. Vamos ver que criatura que é.
Anybody home?
Ah, mais um desse não.
This must be our unwanted visitor. Time to go.
Foda que esse bicho ele corre pra caramba. Caraca, bicho, tá tancudo, hein? Mas aqui tá bem mais fraco que o outro. Prontinho. Esse daqui foi bem mais rápido do que o último.
The things I do for you, Mid.
Sid! Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
You shouldn't have any trouble now.
Indeed. Well, don't let us keep you. We'll, see that everything is transported safely back to the hideaway.
All right. I'll let Mid know you're on your way.
Missão concluída. Olho do guerreiro. Aumenta a duração do tônico robusto em 10 segundos. Não me ajuda.
Let's roll ready.
Tá, fazer isso. Caraca, mano, eu espero muito que a Mid me dê esse navio, cara. Deixa eu só comprar uma poçãozinha.
You'll not find a better price than that.
I went up to give some greens to the jockey.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in. If I don't come up with something soon.
Mid. Helena has recovered the material for the helm. She'll be along shortly.
Excellent. Another job well done.
And just one remaining.
Right. Right, the shielding. This one's a bit of a bugger.
How so?
The plating's enough to stop the engines going pop, but those things will still be spitting out enough fire to set the rest of the ship ablaze. Which is why you need proper shielding. A prison for the dragon's breath that's blazing away inside. I thought a triple thick layer of tempered steel might do it. Or more of the stuff that the Fallen use, but they'd both be too heavy. The helm and the plating are bulky enough as it is. Add any more weight and the whole ship would be at the bottom of the briny before we'd even started. I need something light. But I've racked my brains and I just can't think what would do it.
Well, if I were in need of obscure knowledge, I know whose counsel I would seek. Hippocrates.
Tomes? Yeah, well, I'd thought of that, obviously. I've got all the details written down here. Can you take this to him, see what he makes of it?
Ok, né?
Right away.
A gente manda nessa porcaria aqui, a gente ainda é o garoto de recados ainda. É foda.
We're seeing troops amassing at every corner.
Hippocrates, do you have a moment?
For you, Clive? Always.
Well, actually, it's for mid this time. Could you take a look at this?
Shielding for a mithril engine. Whatever will that girl think of next? What are these notes around the edges?
She has some specific requirements for the materials. The shielding needs to be able to resist extreme heat on the inside, and yet remain cool enough on the outside not to set the ship alight, while also being light enough not to sink it. As you can imagine, she's struggling to find anything that meets her needs.
I see.
I wondered if you might know of a solution, or if you might be able to search the records for one.
Perhaps it is not a different material she requires, but a different approach.
What do you mean?
Consider the lake we have made our home. Its blighted waters eat away far more quickly than fresh water or even brine, at timber and steel alike. And yet, we have made a home here from those very materials nonetheless.
We have. But Bardolph must varnish every board twice over to keep it from rotting. And Obelisk complains that without a constant supply of pitch. I see.
Early Gregorian histories speak of a preparation known as moon dew. It is said to be able to resist even the most ferocious flames. Before the dragoons tamed the worms and wyverns of the realm, nobles would daub their castle walls with it in order to guard against dragon fire.
So if we could recreate it...
It might be applied to some material or other in order to provide the protection it requires. As to how best to apply it and to what material, perhaps Bardolph and Obelisk might be of assistance. I shall speak to them and see what wisdom they might have to offer. If you would be so kind as to procure the necessary ingredients, I shall discuss the specifics of how it might be most effectively put to use with our two friends. The knowledge of the past may yet prove useful to we of the modern era.
Thank you, Hippocrates. And since you're asking others to help you, perhaps I should too.
Ok. Jill.
So you need a hand, do you?
We do. I'll be heading to market for the ingredients we need. I could do with some help. And some company too.
The other can assist me in researching how best to prepare the shielding itself.
Can we count on your aid?
Always. Well, if Jill's game.
Thank you.
I am sure either of these fine young minds would prove indispensable in my research. I leave the decision as to who will go with whom in your capable hands, Clive.
Soltando vapor 3. O último.
So, Clive, have you made your decision? Who will accompany you on your little excursion?
Com certeza, Jill.
Very well. So then, what do we need to find?
I have taken the liberty of preparing a list. Here.
White chocobo eggs. Pepio nuts. Are you sure this list is right? Everything on here seems very edible. I would have thought the ingredients would be a little more exotic.
Though these items may seem mundane, they have potent effects that are rarely exploited, effects for which they were once highly prized. So much so, in fact, that they were harvested almost to extinction, hence moon dews having fallen from favor. Now, of course, they can be obtained with ease. You should be able to find everything you need at the market in Northreach.
Is that so? I've been meaning to visit Northreach anyway. I'll set out now. Join me there when you're ready.
I will. Until then.
You two enjoy yourselves.
You too, Talia.
Ok. Vamos voltar.
Now, where's Jill?
Keep them pilchards nice and chilled. I won't have you.
Are those Pepio nuts?
How goes the hunt for ingredients?
I've only just started. I'm sure everything we need is somewhere amongst all these stalls, though. Why don't we split up and see? We'll take a couple of ingredients each.
All right. What am I looking for?
How about you look for the Pepio nuts and some garlic? I'll find the other things we need. We can meet by the gate when we're finished.
Ok.
Up! You'll not find a bruised pippin. Fresh cuts! Come and get them.
What can I interest you in today?
Alho.
I hope it's to your liking.
How the hell is anyone supposed to...
Opa, o que essa tiazinha aqui tem de novo?
Welcome, welcome.
Diminui o tempo de recarga de punhos furiosos, não. Também não. Aqui não tem nada de novo, pô.
Oi, don't touch anything. Go on, take it.
That's everything. Let's see how Jill's getting on.
Did you find everything?
I did. Here.
Garlic and Pepio nuts. Perfect. Now all that remains is for Harpocrates to somehow turn all this into what Mid needs to keep her engine cool. But before we head back, would you walk with me a while?
Meu Deus do céu, mais conversa. Essa parte tá muito demorada.
Thank you for asking me to help you today. It makes a nice change.
It does. It's good to get away from all the battle and bloodshed for once. Just being here reminds me of when we were children. Do you remember? Walking down Market Street in Rosalith, taking in the sights and smells.
How could I forget? What with Torgal's antics. Remember how his nose would prick up at the scent of sausages? He'd go racing away and we'd have to go running after him. We wouldn't catch you now, would we, boy?
Was there anything you wanted to buy for yourself while we're here?
There was, yes. Well, sort of. Molly in the kitchens told me about a place that sells particularly good pies. Thought you might like to share one with me.
I would. Thank you.
And I saw some bread. Big white cobs like the baker back in Rosalith used to make. What do you think? I thought we might get some soup to dip it in. But then I tried a slice of the butcher's dry-cured ham and it was just... oh.
You all right?
Sorry. It's just... you're right. I really do feel like a child again being here with you. Clive. Is it wrong of me to enjoy this?
No, Jill. This is how life should be. And it's how our lives will be when our work is finally done. When we can live on our own terms.
I hope so. Thank you, Clive.
Poxa, eu espero realmente que ela não termine com a maldição da petrificação. Eu realmente espero que pelo menos os dois possam ficar juntos.
Well, I suppose we best be getting back. I need to give these ingredients to Harpocrates and Talia. I'll see you at the hideaway.
Take care.
I will. You too.
Ok, conseguimos as 3 partes pelo que parece.
I wonder how Harpocrates is getting on with the moon dew. How's work on the shielding progressing, Harpocrates?
Well, very well indeed. And thanks in no small part to your kind assistance. I was just explaining to Talia how we might best go about preparing the moon dew. And now that we have all the ingredients, we may begin.
You can count on me. I've mixed more than a few mysterious
Opa,
concoctions
mas
in my
alguém
time.
entrou aí na live.
I'm sure you have. What about the shielding itself?
Work is underway, under the watchful eyes of Bardolph and Obolus.
Apparently, it'll be ready soon.
Thank you. All of you.
Right then. Jill, would you join me in the infirmary? Many hands make light work and all that.
Of course.
Quem que entrou aí na live, hein, meu?
Oh,
meu querido.
Clive.
Ou querido.
Thank you.
Se pronuncie.
It was nice just being with you.
It appears our work here is almost at an end. A shame. I was enjoying playing the man of action for once. When both the shielding and the moon dew are ready, it will merely be a matter of applying the one to the other. Followed by a rigorous process of testing and retesting, of course. Perhaps someone ought to warn young Mid of that.
Leave it to me. Thank you, Harpocrates.
Missão concluída. Finalmente. Caraca, mais 500 de poder de habilidade, muito bom.
Well, I'd better go and give Mid the good news then.
Será que a Mid pode finalmente parar de passar essas coisas pra nós fazer?
I went up to give some breeze to the chocobo.
Editors started reading books that don't have any pictures in.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Mid. But you'll be pleased to know that work on the shielding is underway.
You found something for it?
In a manner of speaking, Hippocrates knew of a substance that's highly resistant to heat. A coating that should provide the protection you need. He's supervising the construction and testing of the shielding as we speak.
Brilliant! I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Don't thank me. I'm just the errand boy.
Right then, better start working out how to bolt all these bits together. To the Black Hammer!
You know, when I got into the smithing game, I thought I'd be making swords and shields, not thermal bleeding didgeridoo-dahs.
Pimboca das parafusitas.
Displacement stacks.
Same difference. Whatever you call it, I ain't putting it together in here. It's cramped enough as it is. Let's take this outside. Mid, you get all the parts lined up on the deck. I'll take care of the rest.
On my way!
Oh, and bring me the biggest hammer you can find. This is gonna require some precision walloping.
Algum tempo depois.
It's finished! It's finally finished!
Fuck for that. I'll be feeling my hammer arm for weeks.
Thank you, Clive, Blackthorn, everyone. That's one down and just 3 more to go.
I'm sorry.
Oh, didn't I tell you? The Enterprise has 4 mithril engines, and we'll be needing a displacement stack for each.
You don't mean...
Don't worry. Now they've got a finished one to work off. My gang in Canva can build the rest.
Good luck to them, I say. Right, I'm off to get a sling for this elbow. Any other work comes in, keep it to yourselves, eh?
Ok. Meu Deus, eu não quero falar com a Mi demais, velho. Chega.
What's the matter?
Nothing. Just daydreaming. Thinking about the Enterprise sailing off over the horizon to shores unknown. Searching for a land untouched by the Blight. Just like me and my dad planned. So if the worst came to the worst and every scrap of soil in the Twins turned black, we might still have a chance. That's what she was meant to be. You see, one last chance just in case we needed it. But now she's so close to being finished, I've realized I don't want her to be that. I don't want her to be just a lifeboat for us to cling to if things get desperate. I want people to sail aboard her by choice, not from the lack of it. In a world where we're not just trying to survive, but where we can actually live.
I'm working on that. And I'll do everything I can to get you what you want.
Don't you always? All right. My mind's made up. As soon as the Enterprise is fit to sail, I'm putting her under your command. Sod our plans, I'm trusting in yours.
Are you sure about this?
Something tells me it's what my dad would have wanted.
He'd be proud of you.
You were gonna visit his grave, weren't you?
I was. And you can come too now that your little project is finished.
Right. There's just one thing I need to finish up first. Won't be a mo.
All right. I'll let Otto know you're coming. Meet us in the mess when you're ready.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Ok. Opa, nova missão. Pera aí, antes disso, deixa eu só entrar aqui e ver as habilidades. A gente tem 3.700, cara. 3.700 é bastante já. Eu não vou upar a Fênix porque eu não tô mais querendo usar nem a Fênix nem a Garuda. E eu não vou upar tipo essa ultimate aqui até o talo. Pronto, agora o Titã é o meu mais forte mesmo e é isso. Eu tenho que começar a upar essas habilidades porque senão eu vou ficar muito atrás. Questão de dano.
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back. All yours.
Agora é 715.
All done?
Será que eu faço essa missão secundária? Ah, vou fazer, mano. Já perdi muito tempo mesmo. O que que eu perder mais um pouquinho, né? Pera aí, aqui embaixo mesmo?
Well. Here, Sid. Reckon you might be just the man to help me out of a bit of bother, if you were mind to.
Let's hear it.
Well, it's about this alembic the chief's got me making. Lovely bit of kit it is. Bunging a solution you want splitting, and it'll separate it out, just like that. Problem is, it won't always get rid of all the impurities. And with some of the stuff we need it for, that ain't good enough. Which is why I've been looking for something to filter the liquid we'll be cooking off. And that's where I was hoping you could help me out.
Opa, 40 de renome.
You could get some use out of this alembic too. Distilling medicines and the like. Alright. Why not?
Proper job!
So what exactly do you need for this filter?
Nothing but bomb ash'll do, says the chief. Gave me a sample she'd obtained from the university stores. Couldn't believe my eyes. You pour the blackest blight water through it, and it comes out clear as a mountain stream. So, I did a bit of reading about where I might be able to get hold of some. And do you know what I found out? It's only the blimmin' bones of a bomb king. They leave them behind when they die, see?
I take it that's where I come in.
If you wouldn't mind. I saw a billet on the hunt board for one just the other day. Would have gone myself, but, well, fighting dirty great balls of flame isn't exactly my forte.
Okay.
You, on the other hand...
Alright. I'll see what I can do.
Thank you kindly. And a good hunting, eh?
Missão aceita, ciência bizarra. Bora lá. Oxe, é aqui mesmo? Use o quadro de caçada. Ah, mano. Aí é foda. É uma criatura de caçada. Agora eu entendi. Bora ver onde que ele deve estar. Quer caçar um novo Rex Cúpula? Se quiser, tem um anúncio que pode ser do seu interesse. Aqui. Ele é um classe B. Uma rompe-maldição a caminho da perseguição imperial tomou o caminho errado e foi parar em uma floresta próxima, onde encontrou as ruínas de uma aeronave dos decaídos. Dentro, uma fera aparentava ser uma grande bola de fogo, a perseguiu e a fez sair correndo gritando. A soldada posteriormente identificou a criatura em um almanaque dos ecos, mas insistiu que a bomba que ela viu tinha 10 vezes o tamanho da que estava retratada. Moringa, Sunbreak, ok. Vamos lá. Moringa, Sunbreak, Sudeste. Tá, vamos ver onde que é. Ala perdida, colinas. O ninho do dragão. Onde que tá Moringa aqui? Ala perdida. É o mesmo. Opa, eu acho que é aqui, hein? Vamos ver.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales.
Ok. Portão do Prado Glorioso. Advento, será? A mão sagrada, eu não acho que esteja nessa parte aqui não. Vamos procurar, né?
Look at this place.
Let's go.
Ali, ó, acho que deve ser pra lá, mano. Uma bola de fogo, ó. Não é aqui. Também não é aqui. Pra R$2, muro. Enforcado, advento, antiga estrada. Opa, pode ser pra cá. Tá, vamos dar um fast travel.
Ready, girl?
Bichinho chato. Tomara que seja aqui. Cara, olha o tamanho dessa área. E não é aqui. Triste. Infelizmente, o jeito de continuar procurando essa porcaria. Cadê essa bola de fogo, velho? É foda. Mano. Tá. Vou tentar só esse fast travel aqui, mano. Se não for aqui, eu vou ter que voltar lá e ler de novo o mural, mano. Porque não estou conseguindo localizar a criatura. Tá, pra cá não tem nada. Aí, ó. Aqui é só um campão mesmo.
I can walk from here.
Vamos voltar lá pra ver o quadro. É interessante que tem dois mais aqui, mano. Será que tipo é a mesma coisa? Eu já aproveito e vejo também. Tá. A moringa, sunbreak. E onde que fica essa porcaria de moringa que não aparece na porcaria do mapa? Tá, vamos ver o que será que é outra pista ou será que é a mesma? Confidencial. Então aqui agora tem novas missões secundárias. Eu estava folheando os livros do esconderijo a pedido do Otto e posso ter encontrado algo que talvez chame sua atenção. Talvez, ou seja, venha imediatamente. Você sabe onde vou estar. Aceitar chamado de Gaut. Interessante. Clive, tem algo errado com seu cão. Opa, quando Vossa Senhoria puder, venha me visitar na tenda. Torgal. Ferrou. Obrigado por me ajudar a animar Blackthorn naquele dia, mas acho que ele ainda está daquele jeito de novo, a julgar pela cara dele ultimamente. Estou achando que talvez o problema não era só o couro. Será que tem outros demônios rodeando a cabeça dele? Sei que você é um homem ocupado, mas da próxima vez que estiver livre, talvez possa ir perguntar ao velho qual é o problema, se realmente não for só a forja. Caraca, mas 3 missões secundárias. Interessante, eu não sabia que tipo, aqui tinha as missões secundárias também. Esse aqui. Vamos tentar achar o bagulho de Sunbreak, mano. A única, tipo, as áreas que eu ainda não olhei foi aqui, o Prado Glorioso. E pra cá, essa parte de cima. Vamos ver o Prado Glorioso. Porque a Moringa não aparece no mapa, isso que é o foda. Opa, botão errado. E se não achar a porcaria desse bicho, eu não vou conseguir concluir essa missão secundária. Opa, entrou mais pessoas aí na live. Pera aí. Não, mano. Sinceramente, é complicado achar essa porcaria desse local. Portal fluvial, cair no vento. Cabo, o real. Eu vou andar lá pra cima lá pra ver se eu acho. Tem que passar pelo reino. Agora aquela missão secundária lá tá me deixando um pouquinho preocupado. Em questão do Torgal. Pra lá eu não cheguei, não.
Come on. Fly, Ambrosia.
Tá sangrando?
Time to fight.
Também não. Não tem criatura aqui. Meu amigo. Não, acho que que também não é aqui não. Não, também não é aqui não.
Enough of you, are there?
Ah, sério? O jogo não deixou pular. Cara, que seja ali, por favor. Eu não aguento mais ficar procurando no mapa. É pior que não parece que é aqui não. É nada. Caraca, mano, cadê essa criatura, velho? Meu amigo.
All right.
Aqui eu não posso ir mais. Também não. Também não. Caraca. Cara, não pode ser aqui em cima na igreja, velho. Não, também não é aqui. Eu vou surtar. Eu vou surtar.
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't.
Tá bom, vamos descer pra cá. Mas acho que aqui não é, aqui acho que é o laboratório. O laboratório aqui acho que é o vinhedo.
Let's go. to fight.
Mano, papo reto, eu tô surtando, velho. Aonde é que tá essa criatura? Acho que aqui ela não tá não, porque aqui eu já enfrentei o grifo. Aí já tem outras criaturas aqui também, ela não tá aqui não. Tá. Nossa, tem um bagulho ali, mano, que eu ainda não ativei. Caraca, eu já tinha economizado um tempão em vez de... Vai pra lá, criatura. Cara, eu literalmente já andei em todo o local, velho. Não é aqui, velho. Não pode ser aqui. Aí você vai ver ali. Se for ali eu vou dar rage kit. Se for ali eu vou dar rage kit. Não tô brincando.
If you're ready, leave at once.
Peraí. Não, acho que tem que ir por... Não, não é por cima. Acho que é lá por cima. Acho que eu vou ter que subir tudo aquilo dali. Não, acho que eu vou ter que subir mais ainda.
The reckoning is nigh.
Ué. Como é que eu vou subir ali, meu Deus? Cara, não acredito, velho. Eu não acredito. Eu não acredito. Uma parte do mapa eu ainda não liberei. Indo até lá. Deixa eu ver. É foda, foda. Quase 40 minutos procurando a porcaria de um bicho, sendo que eu ainda não tinha liberado a parte do mapa que ele tá. Por isso que eu não tô. Eu nunca ia achar ele. É, ó. Cadê você? Cadê você? Opa. Não, peraí. Eu acho que eu passei. Aqui provavelmente vai ter outra criatura. É, ó, aqui é uma parte onde tinha caído o bagulho. E ó você aí. Nossa, 9.000 de Gil, velho.
Look what we have here. Greetings, Your Majesty.
Não, não, não. Ah, tá, ele invoca. Esse daí deu dano. Aí é foda, né? Caraca! Calma!
There's a good boy. Get him.
Putz, grilo. Caraca! Bichinho potente, potente. Olha, brasa de bomba.
Your reign is over. Now to collect This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it.
Ah, agora vamos voltar. Oxi. Ah, tá. É que realmente eu liberei um ali.
told me she was building a ship.
Bora continuar. Finalmente completar essa missão. Isso que é complicado dessas criaturas notórias, tá ligado? Você tem que achar elas, por mais que ele fale, ó, pode estar aqui. Mas e se você não liberou lá ainda, aí você fica rodeando igual um louco.
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it, too. Enough to keep the alembic bubbling away for a good old while. You're a gent, Sid. Let nothing say otherwise. Right then. Let's get this contraption up and running.
Ok. Será que eu vou ganhar alguma coisa?
On the alembic, and it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need. The good it will do for the hideaway is reward enough.
Don't be silly. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions in. Reckon I could work some magic on that.
What kind of magic?
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the alembic that I reckon will make even the toughest lever supple as anything. Thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway a few gil. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough for you to squeeze in a bottle or two more.
Well, it can't hurt to try, I suppose.
That's the spirit. Leave it with me. I'll only be a mo.
Caraca, finalmente vamos conseguir aumentar nosso estoque de poção.
Well, what do you reckon?
It certainly feels more flexible.
Right? Told you.
Thank you. I think.
No. Thank you for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, we'd never have been able to discover wonders like that stuff I rubbed on your bag. And I'm telling you, there's plenty more where that came from.
Viu? Missão secundária é importante, cara. A gente aumentou melhoria de poção, a gente já aumentou quantidade de poção e a gente já liberou montaria, cara. Aqui, você obteve uma bolsa de poções tratada, que aumentará sua capacidade de carregar itens consumíveis. O aumento será da seguinte maneira: poções de 4 para 6, super poções de 3 para 4, tônico robusto de 2 para 3 e tônico litoderme de 2 para 3. Isso pra frente vai ser muito bom, porque os chefões estão começando a ficar difíceis. Não, peraí. Eu já vou ver essas missões secundárias que fica ali no bagulho de cartas. Talvez eu já cumpra todas elas antes da continuidade na missão, na história. Porque hoje praticamente a história foi só conversa, então pelo menos não.
You cracked the crystal too? You're joking.
E eu tô encafado com o bagulho do Torgal.
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case.
Casa de Ferreiro 2. Fora que as missões secundárias também dão renome, o que ajuda pra caramba.
What could be wrong with Torgor? He seemed well enough when I last saw him.
Ossos do ofício.
Trouble with the ledgers. Shouldn't he be asking Otto for help?
Retorno. Eu já volto, vou rapidinho no banheiro. Prontinho, voltei. Agora bora continuar. Que a gente tem missão pra caramba agora.
Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else weighing on your mind? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something. Something I've never seen before.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with a single-edged blade. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me, the edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be halfway home before he even realised he'd been cut.
So that's what's troubling you?
Nah. They're not troubling me exactly. More distracting. Can't stop thinking, how do you get an edge that sharp? It's driving me mad.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better blades.
That's about the size of it, yeah.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome. And we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that. But I can't say I'm not grateful for it. Good luck, eh?
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about this sword. I got your note. You think something's wrong with Torgor?
So you can read. Congratulations.
Shut up.
I didn't say I were wrong with him. I said something weren't right. He's not been eating me treats. He used to love cracking the bones from Molly's boiled brown, but now he won't so much as look at them. Didn't like him. Which is why I'm of a mind that his mind's on something else. You've not been working him too hard, have you?
No harder than usual. Is that it, boy? Do you need a rest?
What was it you said he was? A frost wolf?
That's what the lawsman seems to think.
Then maybe this all has something to do with whatever it is that's woken inside him.
I suppose things have been different since Rosalith. Perhaps Hippocrates knows something.
Instead of everything, you mean? Perhaps.
You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want? Out with it.
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn. Single-edged and extremely sharp.
Running around after him again, are you?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him find out how to work an edge like that. It's driving him to distraction.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight into private collections. Which made it nice and easy finding a buyer.
Can you tell me who bought it? Where is it now?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to go nicking him off me, are you now? Fine. If you stop mooning at me like that. Lord Ignac's the man you want. Dalmekian bloke. Collects weapons and the like. And he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my favourite clients. Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's a touch eccentric. If you take my meaning.
I appreciate the warning.
Ok.
Lawsman, I need to ask you about Torgal. Something's not right with him.
He isn't ill, is he?
I don't think so. But according to Lady Karen, he seems to have lost his appetite. Which is certainly a new development. She says he's hardly been touching his bones of late, and she believes it may have something to do with what happened at Rosalith Castle.
I rather think she might be right, though not about his appetite. All canids are instinctively inclined to crack open bones for the rich marrow that resides within, and I see no reason why a frostwolf should be any different. Accordingly, I suspect it is not a lack of appetite that afflicts Torgal, but a surfeit of it. If we assume that his newfound magics require additional nourishment to sustain, it may well be that the bones Lady Karen is accustomed to providing are no longer sufficient. Frostwolves, after all, habitually prey upon far larger animals, whose bones may yield altogether different nutrients. As to where one might find a suitable substitute, some antelopes that graze the meadows of eastern Rosaria have been known to grow to a size more than double that of their lesser cousins.
I don't recall ever seeing any that large.
And little wonder. The oldest and largest such creatures rarely leave the safety of the highlands for fear of predators. The last elder antelope sighting I recall hearing about took place near Cressida, and that was long before the village was abandoned.
Even so, it seems like a good place to start.
Good hunting, Clive.
Ok. Que bom que o Torgo não tá doente. Eu pensei que ele ia ficar doente. Você tá precisando de um alimento melhor.
Is that the thing Tomes helped on?
Nid told me she was building a ship.
Clive, did you get my letter?
That's why I'm here.
Shh. Otto might be listening.
Is this better?
A little. Listen, I've some bad news. It turns out the hideaway may be slightly behind in its payment to certain lenders, and it's maybe my fault. But I swear to the goddess, I thought I had the numbers square. Sadly, that square turned out to be more of a circle. Zero, you might say. I can straighten it out, I swear, but it's gonna take some time, and I'm gonna need help keeping it from Otto.
Bit late for that, I'd say.
There you are! What a surprise!
So let me get this straight. You forget to pay our lenders what they're due, and instead of coming straight to me, you get Clive to come to you. and I hope he'll dig you out of the hole you've dug for yourself. Clive, the man in charge of the place you've been cheerfully trying to bankrupt. And you thought this was a cunning plan. Why? Well, who needs paying?
Oh, just Martha. And the dame. And, well, Lady Karen. But only 500 talents.
We owe 3 of our most trusted friends 5 million gil.
Each. 5 million.
Caralho, velho.
They lent us the bulk of the money we used to rebuild the hideaway, you see, and, well, I must have made some sort of oversight.
Those ledgers were my responsibility, and it was my decision to entrust them to you. This is my fault.
Do we have that much to hand? I can always ask my uncle.
No, we don't. And no, you won't. We've lightened Lord Rossfield's purse enough. After the king's ransom we had off him, he deserves better than to see our begging bowl. Besides, we'll need to learn to stand on our own if we're gonna make this work.
All right. But that doesn't mean you have to shoulder the burden yourself. Is there anything I can do to help?
There might be. How'd you fancy taking these to Martha and the dame?
Rocks.
Rocks, he says. Worth 1,000 talents apiece, these are. A little something Sid and I set aside for when times got lean. And I reckon 15 million in overdue debt probably qualifies. I just hope our associates' eyes are a bit more discerning than yours.
I'm sure there will be.
Should be me making the rounds, really. But you know how it is with this place. Orders to bark, arses to wipe and all that.
I know. Which is why I don't mind going in your place.
Go. Do you know why I only gave Master Clive here 2 star rubies?
Because you'd rather Lady Karen killed me.
Because I'd rather Lady Karen killed you. Yes.
Caraca.
Well, I suppose this is goodbye then.
Don't worry. I'm sure Karen will understand.
Really? Do you think so?
No, I don't.
Gal que se fudeu, velho. Ok, temos 3 lugares para ir diferentes, então bora completar logo essas missões para dar continuidade na modo história e ir lá visitar o Cid. Peraí, é aqui não.
Now, Dusan, I know you're keen, but do you...
Oh, where did all the men of the rock go?
Made from the stoutest stoneware. Won't ship, won't...
Ué, eu passei? Ah, é por cima, né? Pelo menos eu acho.
People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
Listen, Drake's fang is gone. The whole mother crystal gone.
My reputation will be ruined. Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? No, no, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He's been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin. Coin the innkeeper will soon be keen to collect.
I don't suppose a certain blade was among the stolen items. A single-edged sword. It was purchased from a merchant friend of mine.
Ah, you know Lady Karen? Yes, I'm afraid it was.
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage. But I have one condition.
You have but to state it. You are welcome to anything that is within my power to grant.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac. A few minutes should be enough. Then I'll be on my way.
A condition I would be a fool to refuse. Of course, you shall have your audience.
I don't suppose you saw where the thieves went?
I did not, no. Though some discreet inquiries made on his lordship's behalf mean that I know where you might find them. The bandit's bed. Every ill-gotten coin in Dalamil is said to pass through that disreputable corner of the Valcroy.
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence, and arrange for an audience upon your triumphant return.
That will be very kind of you.
Farewell, and best of luck.
Ok, pra onde?
Good girl. Time to fight.
Got company! Come on, lads, let's tear the bastard's head off!
Caraca, calma aí, meu. Pronto.
This must be Ignac's luggage. Nothing seems to be damaged. All right. Let's get it back to Dalamil.
Será que ele vai dar a espada pra gente?
I hear I have you to thank for the return of my effects. What shall I call you, my good man?
Wyvern. Glad to make your acquaintance.
A formidable name indeed. Well, Wyvern, I appear to be in your debt. Redeem here tells me you wished for an audience. Is that all?
A few moments of your time should suffice, yes.
You're a peculiar fellow, Wyvern. All right, speak.
Master Wyvern was wondering if you could tell him about a certain single-edged sword you recently acquired.
Oh, a true work of art, that one. Karen drove me hard on the price, but I would have sold her Radim here to get my hands on that sword. It was made in the Outer Isles, far beyond the Twins, and is used exclusively by the practitioners of a unique school of swordsmanship.
Vai dar a espada pra gente.
No combat should ever exceed a single strike, and hone their blades to such perfection that none ever does. Each sword is made for that one perfect stroke, and for that stroke only. They crack upon a second blow. There's a brutal sort of beauty to it, really.
But how do they hone such an edge?
Fine question. Why, they use a whetstone, of course. Whetstones, rather. A whole array of them, ranging from the coarse to the fine. 10,000 licks with the sharpening stone, then 10,000 more. But it is the final stone which lends the blade its legendary sharpness. A mineral quite foreign to this great realm of ours. And that is the key. The secret ingredient. Wyvern, it occurs to me that my little lecture is hardly equal to services rendered. Take this, together with my regards.
E a espada? Por favor, fala que é a espada.
Of which I spoke.
Filha da
Far
puta!
rarer among collectors than even the blade itself. And a far more fitting payment.
Thank you.
Pardon the intrusion, my lordship. However, it is long past time we prepared ourselves to depart.
So it is. I am locked in bitter competition with a rival collector of curiosities. I am one step ahead of the unscrupulous scoundrel, but he is hard at my heels.
And there are many other collectors out there.
Too many to count, but only one do I consider my nemesis.
Ah, o tio dele, mano.
Byron Rosfield.
Caralho, mano.
Perennial thorn in my side.
I can imagine.
Farewell, Wyvern. May our paths cross again. Radim, we mustn't dawdle.
Caralho, mano. O tio dele é o arquirrival desse cara, mano. É foda.
I think his lordship is rather taken with you, Master Wyvern. Thank you again for your assistance. Coming, my lordship. I'll be right there.
Ok, mais uma missão secundária
Trust Uncle
feita.
Byron to find such an interesting rival. Now, let's see what Blackthorn makes of this whetstone, shall we?
Pedra de molar cindida. Essa daqui é o repouso da Marta. Não, primeiro vamos matar os antílopes pra pegar a comida do Torgal. Porque vai que a gente consegue a evolução dele. Uma evolução mais constante, por assim dizer. Isso é interessante. Isso ia ajudar pra caramba na fight.
Did you hear?
The gates to heaven.
I want to see you again. It's all right.
What am I going to do without Sweetwater and Olive Talc?
Milady, I come bearing gifts.
Oh, eu vi na missão errada.
Whatever is the occasion. Oh my. Clive, you really have outdone yourself.
Otto asked me to give it to you. To settle the Hideaway's debt with the Veil. And to compensate you for the time it took us to do so.
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as much the first time around. The man owes me nothing, nor does the Hideaway. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly. It was the least I could do.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. Please, accept it. For my sake. And for Otto's. For all of us. For all you've done.
It is rather fetching, isn't it? Very well. Otto is lucky to have you, Clive. I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the Hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy, and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done, but it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? I doubt anyone did. Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that.
Eita, nós. Fui na missão errada, mas já completei uma parte dela. Já vamos conversar já com a Marta já. Aí se ela pedir pra gente fazer alguma coisa, a gente já pode ir pro caminho.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the Hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the Hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Ok, mais uma missão foi. Agora só falta matar os bichinhos. Pra pegar o tutano pro Torgal. Segue reto. Um minotauro.
Well, it's certainly quiet. If I were a giant antelope, it seemed like just the place. I doubt we'll find one bigger than that. You hungry, Torgal?
Eita! Beleza, então. Filha da puta. Mano, que bicho filha da puta. Bichinho filha da puta, velho. Esquivou.
Now. Will it be enough, I wonder? I say that answers my question. Which means we owe the lawsman our thanks.
Seria,
Just
cara.
a big puppy, aren't you? A very big puppy. You do know you can take that with you, Torgal. Lady Karen will be relieved to hear you've got your appetite back. Come on, boy.
Seria muito bom se a gente realmente conseguisse a evolução do Torgal, mano.
Fetch.
A evolução dele ia ser fantástica aqui. Sharon Gaut, pronto.
I noticed you and Torgal had gone off somewhere. Take him for a walk, did you?
You could say that.
So, Molly's leftovers weren't good enough, eh? That'll teach me for treating you like you're still a pup. All right, no need to shout. Now we know what you're after, I can see about getting some in.
Speaking of which, I brought one for later. Can I leave it with you?
You can, eh? I'm nice like that. In return, you can thank Tomes for me. The bloody know-it-all.
I was just on my way to see him.
Ai, meu Deus do céu, velho. É muita falação. Vai de um lado, vai pro outro. Gank da moto.
Ah, Clive. Were you able to locate your quarry?
We were indeed, Lawsman. You pointed us in exactly the right direction. And Torgal's been a very happy hound ever since.
Very good, very good.
Lady Karen sends her thanks, by the way, for your part in solving the mystery.
Ah. But that reminds me. After your last visit, I found myself pondering Torgal's talents. Do you recall our conversation concerning Lady Jill's role in Torgal's transformation?
About how she somehow woke the power within him.
Precisely that. A reasonable conclusion, I thought. But one which raised certain questions in my mind. You see, the Fenrir of legend served Shiva and Shiva alone. And while the powers attributed to him are certainly impressive, the records imply they are somewhat different in nature to those you described Torgal as having used.
What are you suggesting?
That Torgal may be the beneficiary of more than one icon's power. Consider that in addition to Lady Jill, he has served as a loyal companion to you, your brother, and even the late Cid. In short, the icons hitherto near at hand, or should I say at paw, have been diverse and plenty, and that number has only grown as the realm's dominance have fallen to your sword. One can but speculate as to how all of this has affected Torgal.
He has seemed more fierce of late.
And if I am not mistaken, he will grow fiercer still. We are fortunate indeed to be able to count him amongst our allies and not our adversaries.
Oh, he's more than an ally. He's a friend.
Missão concluída. É, filho, o Torgal vai ficar mais potente do que ele já é. Aumenta levemente o ataque de Torgal. Uma das três já está concluída. Eu espero que agora pelo menos o martelo negro aqui ele consiga fazer algum equipamento decente.
Sorry for the wait, but hopefully you'll agree it was worth it.
You learned something about that sword then?
I did better than that.
A whetstone?
Yes, but not one you'll find anywhere in Valisthea.
No wonder I couldn't get the same finish on the grinding wheel. One hit and all done, eh? Might not be so bad if all you ever fought were duels. Good luck on the battlefield. Your second opponent would be your last, no matter how good you were.
Even so, is there some way it could be used to give the curse breakers an edge?
I think so, yeah. With this whetstone and the right kind of steel, I could probably even make a twin of the blade that rattled me. But there'd be no replacing this little rock once I worn it down to a sliver. I reckon we get a dozen swords from it, if that. Swords that the curse breakers wouldn't know how to wield properly, and that would see them through a single fire piece. Nah, no point trying to copy that thing. Be about as much use as a wax anvil. But finishing our blades with a whetstone this fine, now that's something to consider. And what's finer than fallen masonry, eh? Or more hard-wearing, for that matter. Just imagine it. Good Valisthean steel with an edge as sharp as any found in the Outer Isles. I won't make a copy, nah. I'll make something much better.
I'm sure the curse breakers will be delighted. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Don't you worry about me, sunshine. I've been working day and night since I was half your age, and I'll still be here when you're long gone. Hey, thanks, Clive. I mean it. I owe you one, August too. It's good to know someone's looking out for me.
He'll be happy to hear you said that.
And I'll see that my debt to you's paid. First new blade I make's got your name on it. You come and find me when you've got the materials.
Right. I will.
Missão concluída. Eu acho que eu upei. Upei. Ok, nível 35. Esquema da Excalibur.
What do you need? What do you want?
Mano, que maldade, eu só não tenho escarlatita, cara. Pô, isso foi maldade. Caralho, mano. Será que... Eu não lembro nem onde que eu consigo escarlatita. Depois eu vejo. Mas é bom saber que agora pelo menos tem um... Dá pra fazer um equipamento bom.
Is it business or pleasure? It's rubbing me blind, you know.
É, aqui não tem nem como comprar, ela não tá vendendo.
Is that all?
É. Cara, pior que eu só preciso da escarlatita, cara. E aí eu conseguiria montar a Excalibur, velho. Que triste.
Told me she was building a ship.
Good. Still alive, I see. So Lady Karen accepted the ruby.
Ah, about that. I tried my best, but she was just too stubborn to take it. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could stick my stupid stone where the sun don't shine.
Karen refused payment.
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever. Let me see what I can do.
Putz, eu acabei de vir de lá.
Wonderful. I hope you have better luck than I did.
Pô, mano, isso é sacanagem, velho. Acabei de vir de lá, velho. Filha da puta.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with our offer. Would you prefer the debt was repaid in coin?
What debt? I don't recall lending any of you lot me hard-earned gil. I may have tossed a talent or two in the Hideaway's coffers, but those were donations, and you can hardly call it charity if you go asking for it back.
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. And our circumstances have changed. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, so you're a prince now, are you? Fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not.
Caraca, mano. Ao mesmo tempo que ela recusou, ela morre, tipo...
Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000 talents for a star ruby. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw himself and ask twice as much. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's only eclipsed by a guile in commerce. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all. Just be sure to tell her that it's always a pleasure doing business.
I hear you ended up delivering all 3 stones. Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which, I still haven't been paid last month's wages.
Oh, so you remember what's owed to you then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers are square.
Right away.
I've seen that before.
You have, yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find a clean one.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him.
I bet they do.
How long did you know Sid before he...
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to... I forget where. But having nothing better to do on the long nights, we set up drinking island rum till the morning bell dragged me back to my duties. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have...
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, forget what I felt, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I wanted was to tear the whole world down. Him who cried for me when I had no tears left of my own. Him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbons, gone. Just like that. Threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else had the courage to face. I knew then I'd follow that man to the ends of the earth.
Mano, da hora que o Cid, mesmo depois de morto, tem muita história pra contar. E é muito incrível as histórias dele.
He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
Caralho, mano. Papo reto. Cid é muito foda.
This note.
What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather go at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
Da hora, mano. Essa missão foi bonita. Cálice do Cid. Ok. Acabou as missões secundárias, não temos mais nenhuma, né? Vamos só confirmar aqui com o Gaut.
Fancy a look at the list, do you? Anything catch your eye?
Mais
Think you
nenhuma.
can help?
As criaturas notórias eu não vou buscar ainda não. Vou deixar elas um pouco pra depois.
Right, Clive. Asterix. Mid finished sending half the hideaway traipsing across the twins, has she? I swear, that girl'd do anything to put off visiting her old dad's grave. No excuses now, though, eh?
Not quite. She said there was one final thing she had to take care of. I'm sure she'll be finished soon enough.
She said that? In those words?
She did, yes.
Clive? Were you born yesterday or something? There is no thing. She'll probably be halfway to Canva by now.
Mid. I might still be able to catch her.
Mid told me she was building a ship.
Is that the thing Toes helped?
Obelith, have you seen Mid?
Yep. In a boat, going that way.
Then I'm too late.
You in a hurry at all, are you? No, I offered to take her across, but she wouldn't wait. Just paid for a dinghy and rowed off. Oars going like the clappers. Got some life in her, ain't she? But anyway, I was on my way up to see you, as it happens. Got a letter for you. Urgent, by the sound of it. One of your uncle's men said I was to hand it to you in person, post-bleeding haste. And you're here now.
Thank you, Obelith.
Don't mention it.
Uma carta do tio dele.
Uncle.
Meu querido sobrinho, minha jornada para Canver foi um completo sucesso. O amigo que eu havia mencionado não apenas concordou em compartilhar o conteúdo do caixa forte dele conosco, como também os acontecimentos das cidades livres. E assim eu soube dos esforços de uma certa jovem amiga sua. Embora eu acredite que o projeto da senhorita Telamon seja a valiosa Enterprise, duvido que as autoridades canverianas aceitem gentilmente o uso não autorizado de seus estaleiros, não importa o quão desertos estejam. E se o boato já chegou ao seu amigo, pode ser que não demore muito para que os mestres da guilda batam em sua porta. E por isso que ele escreve esse bilhete. Gostaria de pegar emprestado seu amigo Gav por 1 ou 2 luas para que ele possa ficar de olho naqueles que podem fazer mal à nossa pequena irmandade e nos avisar de qualquer ataque iminente. Espero que você considere a proposta. Seu querido tio Byron.
Trouble in Canva. Well, I'll need someone to keep an eye on Mid.
So what? Mid got us to do all the dirty work and then just sailed off into the sunset?
It, seems that way.
Well, nothing we can do about it now. But next time you plan on visiting Sid, you might want to tie her to something before you suggest it.
Ah, don't be so hard on her. Got to admit, the dirty work was kind of fun. Everyone pitching in, all that bollocks. Just like when we built this place.
You're right.
Anyway, we all set to head to the old hideaway. I could do with getting to Canva pretty sharpish. Wouldn't do to keep Lord Rosfield of the Seven High Houses waiting now, would it? Not after he asked for me personally.
Gav will be leaving with me. Will you mind the place while we're gone?
You can count on me. Just be sure to give Sid and the others my regards. All right.
Oh, by the way, Jill will be joining us too.
At least.
Ok. Legado do Cid.
Well, Sid. But if no one is listening to what you have to say, you may as well not say it. But I will say this, old friend. Hugo Cooker is gone. His shadow looms over us no longer.
It's a pity the Phoenix can't be in 2 places at once. If he'd have been with us, maybe he could have done something for the lost.
Not even the Phoenix can bring people back from the dead. Life has a beginning and an end. So we must live while we have the chance. And not as slaves to the crystals, but as free men.
May we join you?
Jill. Caracas. Sharon. Ou Karen, sei lá.
Lady Karen.
É, Karen.
Pleasant surprise.
I thought I'd drop by and see how you were all doing before heading off to restock my supplies. wasn't the most scenic view back then, but it were never as bad as this.
I know. The blight marches on. And soon, there'll be no escaping sights like these. So our mission remains unchanged. We cannot stop until every Mother Crystal is gone, and their thirst for ether with them. The only one that remains in Storm is Drake's Tail in the Crystalline Dominion.
Our next target.
We're going to Twinside.
It's the capital of the Empire these days. I wouldn't like to think how tightly guarded they've got the place. Not that that'll stop you, but we'd do well to scout it out before you go charging in.
We would indeed.
If you're off to the Dominion, you can take this great lump with you.
Goods.
Oh, I am sorry. Have you forgotten you're the most wanted man in the Twins? I thought you might like to disguise yourselves as the attendants of a travelling trader, assuming you've no better ideas. You wanted to buy yourself some tools, didn't you? Well, now's your chance.
You're letting me go with them? Oh, thanks, Nan.
Stop that! You'll break me bones, you great galoot. There's a caravan that runs back and forth between the Dominion and the Bocklad markets. It's managed by the Merchants Guild. Just show them Goots' traders pass and you'll be on your way. It'll be a damn sight less risky than footing it the length of the Crystal Road. That's for sure.
Thank you, Karen. And glad to have you with us, Goots.
Oh, okay then. I'll get me things and I'll meet yous there. See yous down in Bocklad.
Get off! Me poor fingers!
Jill, you're with me.
Understood.
And Gav?
Already on my way, Captain.
Be careful.
Aren't I always?
Do you see that, Sid? Your protege's making a proper little outlaw of himself.
Da hora, mano, da hora. Dalméquia Oriental. Adiante.
How are you feeling?
Better. Thanks to Taya.
I'm glad to hear it.
And Torgal helped too. Didn't you, boy?
Bom, galera, vou encerrando por aqui. Muito obrigado para quem participou da live. Só lembrando que os vídeos da live são reupados no canal no YouTube no dia seguinte. Muito obrigado. Um beijinho na bunda. Fui.